Hi, welcome to Occupy the Land, occupytheland.org. Now, what we're doing today, we're going to be doing finally the next layer to get where all the, well, not all, but most of the electrical outlets go. But we have to make these cleats that go between the bags. And what happens, these are the outside ones. The inside ones we got taken care of, but the outside ones, we got to have this conduit that will go between the layers in the wall, and the wiring will come from the inside on a separate breaker to the outside boxes. Now this is what's going to go on it, and it has, the outside and so on, and it's protected from the weather. So we got these, and we've been waiting on, combination of all the other stuff we have to do, getting the tractor back, doing some of the rain, and we're carving the roads and there's so much stuff. But doing with the earth bags, the Adobe bags, and the way we're doing it with just Adobe, concrete, and steel, you can just leave it there for weeks, months, years, and come right back and get to where we're going. Well, now we have nice weather, so we're going to be out here a lot and start really getting the walls up. We got to put in the windowsills. We got to put the dome integrated into the door frames. We got to, the roofing, getting the dome on top of the pony wall. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to go pretty fast. Now, what these boxes are, they thread in. So you get these, goes in, and you can come in from either side or the back like we need to with this one. Now, we're going to go ahead and put this down, but we got to prop it up to where it stays up here, and then we put another piece of wood back here. And I had that wood here somewhere. Nah, I got it. Anyway, I'll find it. So we'll go ahead and get this down. And then I had to drill, some holes in here to fasten this so that it's firm on there, and then we place it. Now let's come over here and I'll show you what we're doing. We have 3 places. 2 on the outside over there where a patio is going to be and so on, and maybe a hot tub and whatever. We need power out there. Now this is what we're going to do, and I'll pound this in because this Adobe is not, concrete, so we can pound these in there. I already did one over there, and this will be on the outside. When we dress this up with the coatings out here, the stucco and so on, and finally the finished coating, we'll have this will stick out to an outdoor outlet. Now what we're doing now is when I get this one, I have one over there already, and the final 3rd one there that we have on the outside outlets, then we'll start putting bags on. And Donna's got the kind of gravel, the kind of interface. We got to wet this down and have it soften a little bit, and then we'll start putting on the next layer. Once we get this done, we got another couple of layers to do before we start getting in the windowsills. Now, we may have some vertical windows that I want to experiment with. This is an experimental build here. It's going to be nice. It's going to be finished. It's going to be very functional and useful as a guest dome, and we can live in while we're doing the main house. But then it's for, friends and family and visitors that come, and it's really nice. Might even Airbnb it or something, that come out here. It's just awesome out here. We love it. So tomorrow, though, we're going to our youngest daughter's birthday party. We get to hang out with family and so on, and plan a time for the holidays for everybody to come out here with their RVs and everything and just enjoy the weather. Everybody bring their dirt bikes and, RC cars and everything. The grandkids make use of the desert, so we'll have some fun. But this is the last thing. I got one more of these to do, and then it's tractor time and starting filling Adobe bags. So we'll get that. Now we got enough water for us to be able to do another layer of bags. So we're going to go ahead and get ready for that. I'm going to head down to the workshop and we'll show you what's up there. There's the house pad. Donna's garden. Now this is where I'm thinking of putting a concrete pad right here. That would make using the workshop, you know, to its full potential. And we're almost done with this. All right, we got to start unpacking a lot of the equipment and assemble the toolbox and get all of the wrenches and everything where I know they're at, so I'm not spending so much time looking for stuff. Oh my goodness. Now we started putting a lot of the stuff on the shelf, just get it out of the way for us to do the organization. And I got, you know, just a bunch of my stuff on pegboard and a work table that I can use a little bit. But we just have so much stuff that we're getting ready for employing in the build, but we needed to get this taken care of because I need to have, you know, I got a new vise and, you know, some equipment that I lost in a fire. So we're going to go ahead and start putting this all out so we can get back to mass production on the build. But we had to get a lot of the supplies. We needed more equipment, and I'm putting that together now. When I get done with this, I'll go ahead and let you guys, you know what's up. Now what we did is we took out the window shaker. We don't need the air conditioning anymore in the bus, and that was kind of the frame that we had for putting it in the window. But now I need to get this all organized because I need to get the plasma and the welder all out and going because we're going to start working on the trommel too, which is why I need to have this concrete area out here. Now the stamp press that we have, I have in the bag right here is the die for stamping out the struts for the dome, and we're going to need to do custom segments for integrating in with the door frame and the windows. Now this table, we're going to put a chop saw on here, a cutoff for the length of the struts, and then the stamp press fashions the ends for us to incorporate it into bolting it together and doing a lot of stuff. But I really need to get, I have batteries that will be here probably tomorrow, and then we'll go ahead and power this. I got everything else, and we're just going to start building the electrical to power this. And I got to put up solar panels and gotta. But we need to regularly make sure that we're putting in, working on the dome and get that going up, because you just got time and pressure. Now, for the building, we got this platform that can be lifted up with the forklift, and that will make it a lot easier as we're starting to get too high to be able to comfortably fill the bags. And then we got, you know, Portland underneath there for when we need to do some concrete. And we had a bunch more supplies and equipment and so on that we're doing. Now, what I want to do is I'm probably, sooner or later, this is going to be a concrete area where we can do a lot of work, and I'll put up shading that will come across and out over here. In the wintertime, it's nice to have the sun beat on you, but sometimes you just like to work in the shade and maybe get out if there's ever any rain. But I need a workspace here, so we're going to go ahead and start fashioning a concrete pad for this. That's an eventuality. So, and then we kind of organize some of the supplies and stuff that we have over here. Now that red building, that's a building, you know, that we could put up, but we just haven't done it because it's so committive of the work that we have to do. And that's what does that say, 30 by, what is that, 40, 30 by 40 and 22 feet high, so the bus can fit in there. So that's been, you know, on our list of maybe we might even sell that. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to get another shipping container and put it over on the side over here, and a roof in between them, and have a concrete slab. That'll take a while, but that is for us to be able to put all our equipment on and it not be exposed to the elements. And we have our equipment kind of lay down yard up there, and we have a place for everything. But you know, I'd really like to get this stuff out of the sun, certainly before we get to this next spring and it starts getting long, hot days again. Now, we haven't really been inclined to put the fence up yet, but we got all the stuff for it, and the tractor 9-inch auger creates a perfect hole just to drop these in, square them up, get them plumb, and boom, start running barbed wire, and we got a fence. But it hasn't been a problem. The cows pretty much leave us alone, and the biggest reason we would get the fence up is because I think we're going to get a dog sooner or later, and it'll be sooner rather than later. You want to get them right in the summer. It probably wouldn't like that. And we'll see. You know, it's a big commitment, but this is the longest we've been without a dog, and I like having dogs. You know, especially when you're out remote out here, they kind of a radar warning of, you know, what's coming when. And so that's on the list. But we've gotten all the roads pretty much done, and the flood control, we have a really good beat on it. It's just time and pressure, putting up the berms where we want to. It just, everything takes a full day. A full day for this, a full day for that, a full day, a full day, a full day. And developing 18 acres is a lot for, you know, a husband and wife and a tractor, but we're getting it done. It just takes time. So that's what we're working on. The big thing right now is Donna wants to get her food production going. So that's what she's going to be working on today, and you'll see some video for that. I'm going to try and get some drone footage to show you just how green everything is. And on our little 18 acres, you can see it's greener than most, just after a couple of rains of controlling the water. This is working out, but it just takes time and pressure. And it's really nice out here. Peace. Well, Donna's got her Ranger loaded up with all kinds of goodies. Now, this is for food. We're going to go ahead and raise these now, because you can grow this time of year in Arizona. It's only July and August that you can't. But she's going to go ahead and let these go to seed. We're going to start making sure we got heirloom seeds. Now, we have a canister that has 2 or 3 of them that we got years ago that has 4 or 5 acres of heirloom food production. Now, we don't know exactly where they are. We know they're in storage, and she just wanted to go ahead, didn't want to go from seed. She wanted to go ahead and get stuff going, you know. So I'm like, okay, you know, some of these, you know, actually have some bearing some fruit. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do, and I'll let Donna describe this for you guys. She's going to go ahead and plant these in her raised garden beds that she's created, and she gets to use her Ranger, man. She's all over that. Now, after that, she's going to go ahead and do a final cleaning on the pool, and there's like dust in the bottom and so on. She's going to go ahead and get that done, then covered, and we're going to go ahead and leave this up and be a few thousand gallons of water that we have to fill up our totes and so on. You know, I'm not even sure if they got water in those or not, but we have plenty of these that will give us enough water to get some agricultural going. We only need water for us, which isn't that much, and for the concrete. And that is mixing the Adobe. So we don't really have a big water need, but if you start growing stuff, you do. So that is one reason why we have these IBC totes, because we can distribute the water around where we need it instead of having 18 acres of plumbing. I mean, you know, that's like a thing. So we're going to get ready now to start doing a lot of things. There's so many things on the list for us to take care of here as we're building up the walls. One of the big decisions that we have is, when do we put that dome on to the walls that we're building here, the hyper Adobe bags? That is subjective. You know, it's going to be, because if you wait too long, it looks like a silo. I mean, it's just a big giant, you know, cylinder with a roof on it. It's not really necessary, and we weren't really planning on making a big loft. And you want to incorporate it into the window and door frames. I've done this before, and it's easy to do. You just have to have the stamp press to make custom struts to do it. Well, that is, and underneath those tarps, there's a table saw and a chop saw there, and we're getting ready to get into a lot of that stuff. We have a lot of the shading material that we can put on there, but I like the sun. You know, it's nice out here now. Now you see over here how we do the electrical. Now the electrical is going to be, we have one that's over there for kind of a desk area, and then two of them that go on each side of the bed, and then over here like a desk area that we have, you know, for them. And we did a lot of electrical outlets, because the one thing when they did, there was a retired plumber that did the love bus, and man, he made sure there was a bunch of outlets, and I appreciate every dang one of them. And we're putting in power strips because, you know, we have a lot more electrical uses and so on now than he probably did back when he did this probably 20 years ago. And so I'm not going to be shy of electrical outlets. Plus, Donna wanted nice ones that had night lights and USBs, and because we can. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Well, that's what we're doing over the next few days. I'm going to try and get me some drone footage for you guys so you can see just how green it is out here. I mean, within a week after it rains, it just gets stupid. And then you have another rain. If we were to get another rain within another week or two, it would get even more crazy. We would have grass. I mean, there's a lot of places you look around, you see these, you know, flowers and some grass coming up. You know, that is just the desert. I remember as a kid going motorcycle riding with my friends out in the desert. We would just leave from our homes and find some desert, go out in the middle of the desert with our girlfriends and have a picnic on grass. And this is always in the fall and the spring when it would rain and you get grass. What do you think all those cows are eating? Well, the cows, a lot of times, they're eating mesquite beans that are on the mesquite. I didn't know that till we came out here and watched it happen. Well, then we got the mixing bucket on the tractor, and that is how we mix the Adobe and so on. I'll show you the blade in it, how it rotates. So that's how we do it, you know, and then we just open the trap door on the bottom when this is tilted down, and that just dumps right into the bags. But sooner or later, it's going to get kind of high and precarious up there. Damn, you know, it's getting scary. Well, that's where we have scaffolding, you know, that we're going to be using and so on. And this is the outside outlet that we have 3 of them on this dome. And then it has conduit that goes to the inside. We were going to run electrical Romex on the outside and do it that way, but this seemed easier and better, and now we'll do that. But yeah, there's the kitchen area over there, you know, a bunch of outlets. I like some outlets. There's like 4 over there. So I don't know what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then inside 9, like 10. And it's not that big of a dome, but I'm not going to be searching for a plug because I don't have to.
So here's the rabbit compost that we're going to put on top of the garden. We've just put it in these bags. It's a lot easier to shovel it in here. It's very light because all the water, all the urine has evaporated out of it. And so it's not heavy at all to put them in those bags and just dump them over here. And as soon as we get everything on here, smoothed out in water, we're going to start planting our garden plants. Today is working in the garden day, and since me and Ernie were in town for the last couple of days, I had planned to go ahead and get a bunch of garden plants, and I had to go all the way almost back to Glendale where we used to live, which is quite a ways away from here, and I did get some heirlooms and non-GMO plants, which is really what I was looking for. Most of the other things just had trees and desert foliage. That's not really what I needed. So I do need to go to our neighbors and get some more rabbit poop to top this off. But this, you know, the rabbit poop and bunny poop is really good manure or compost to use. You don't really have to let it compost at all. You can just take it right from the rabbits and put it in your compost garden. Here's the plants that I got. Because it breaks down really fast, and it's sort of like a time release thing in your garden. The pellets, the poop pellets, just kind of break down as needed. So it's really good. I'm really happy to have this resource for this kind of thing, and we'll let you know how it goes.